Hey everyone, this is Charles Madison with Nexxlegacy News with a special report, and we're talking about the landmark social media trial, a defining moment for free speech, accountability, and the future of digital power. And in what legal analysts are calling one of the most consequential courtroom battles of the digital era, a landmark social media trial is unfolding that could reshape how platforms operate, how users are protected, and how the responsibility is defined in an age where information travels faster than regulation. At the center of the case is a fundamental question: who is accountable when social media causes real-world harm? For more than a decade, platforms have argued that they are neutral hosts, technology companies providing space for users to communicate, and critics, however, claim these companies function more like publishers, amplifying certain content through algorithms and monetizing engagement even when that engagement is driven by miscommunication, harassment, or dangerous trends. Now, those competing views are being tested in a courtroom now under intense public and political scrutiny. So how did we get here? The trial stems from a high-profile legal challenge involving claims that a major social media platform failed to act on harmful content despite repeated warnings. Plaintiffs argue the company's algorithms knowingly promoted divisive, misleading, and in some cases, harmful material because it increased user engagement and advertising revenue. Legal filings point to internal documents, whistleblower testimony, and user impact stories suggesting platform leadership was aware of potential risks but moved slowly, or not at all, to change the course. Supporters of the platform insist the situation is more complex. They argue that moderating billions of daily posts is a monumental task and that overregulation could threaten free expression and open discourse online. This case, it's not about just one company or incident. It challenges the legal framework that has governed social media for years. And among these key issues are: 1, platform responsibility versus user responsibility. Are social media companies accountable for what users post, or only for how they manage and distribute the content? 2, algorithm amplification. If a platform's algorithm promotes harmful content, does that transform it from a neutral host into an active participant? 3, free speech versus public safety. Where is the line between protecting expression and preventing harm? And finally, 4, corporate transparency. Should platforms be legally required to disclose how content is prioritized, suppressed, or monetized? Inside the courtroom, testimony has revealed a clash between public messaging and internal operations. Former employees and industry insiders have described a culture-driven growth metrics, engaging targets, and competition for user attention. Plaintiffs' attorneys argue that the platform's design choices were intentional and profit-driven. Defense attorneys, however, counter that the company invested heavily in safety teams, moderation tools, and partnerships with experts, but that no system is perfect and responsibility cannot be placed solely on a platform for user behavior. Observers say the trial has already exposed how little the public understands about the metrics behind social media feeds and how much power those systems quietly hold. So the broader impact is this. Regardless of the verdict, the implications could be enormous. For tech companies, a ruling against the platform could trigger sweeping changes across the industry, forcing companies to redesign algorithms, strengthen moderation, and increase transparency. For lawmakers, governments may feel pressure to introduce new digital accountability laws, potentially redefining liability protections that have shielded platforms for years. For users, the outcome could change how content appears in feeds, how misinformation is handled, and even how free expression is protected online. For advertisers and investors, corporate risk assessments could shift dramatically, impacting revenue models and platform valuations. Now, this whistleblower effect, this key turning point in the trial came from that whistleblower testimony describing internal concerns about safety ethics and the long-term social impact of engagement-driven design. These accounts have fueled public debates about whether companies ignored warning signs and whether stronger protections for whistleblowers are needed in the tech sector. This case has sparked intense reactions across political, academic, and cultural circles. Advocates for regulation say the trial is long overdue and represents a chance to hold powerful corporations accountable. Free speech advocates warn that heavy-handed rulings could lead to censorship and corporate overreach. Everyday users express mixed feelings. Many rely on social media daily, yet worry about privacy, misinformation, and mental health effects. The trial has effectively become a referendum on the role social media plays in modern life. This is a turning point, you guys, for the digital age. Experts say the case could be remembered in the same way past landmark trials shaped industries like tobacco, media broadcasting, and telecommunications. This isn't about a company, one legal analyst noted. It's about defining responsibility in the digital era. The internet grew faster than the laws designed to govern it. Now the courts are catching up. So what happens next? The trial is expected to continue drawing national attention as testimony unfolds and legal arguments intensifies. Appeals are likely regardless of the outcome, meaning the final impact could take years fully to materialize. But one thing is already clear. The era of social media operating without deep legal examination is over. This case signals a shift from innovation first and accountability later to a new phase where platforms, governments, and users must confront the consequences of a hyper-connected world.